Okay, so I haven't dated anybody in 3 years. I finally decided I'm gonna put myself out there, start meeting people. These men are weak. These men are soft, okay? They don't text you, they don't call you, they like your Instagram post. It is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. What planet is everybody on? Why are girls allowing men to act like this to them? Absolutely not. No, go waste your time with a 20-year-old. Like, they'll probably be happy to give your attention. Oh, somebody's here for me. It's not a date.
Y'all want to know what it took me 35 years to realize? That I'm delusional. And 75% of women are right on this bandwagon with me. And y'all gonna get on this app and try to cap, but women, we're delusional.
So I always have so many people ask me, where are the good men? Where can I find them? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to put you onto this right now. Are you ready? They're on Zooming with their families for 3 hours on Sunday. They're on a couch somewhere with their mother right now. They're in the corner of the bar, just talking to their friends and keeping to themselves and not really taking up a lot of space. They're at game night and trivia night. They are playing with their nieces and their nephews at a park somewhere, or maybe even at Disneyland, being the fun uncle. Are they on dating apps? Yes, they have a dating app profile. However, it's probably incomplete. And their photos are probably kind of old, and they didn't fill it out very well, because they don't check it that often. You are not seeing them because they're not taking up a lot of space. I hope this is helpful.
This one might get me into a lot of trouble, but if you as a woman think that saying, where are all the good men? Or good men are few and far between, good luck finding one. If you think that will help your cause, as if it brings you closer to finding a good man, it will actually do the exact opposite. Because when a good man hears a woman saying this, it only confirms to him that she is not so unlucky that she's never run across a good man. It's that she doesn't value the good men that she's run across. But here she is, playing victim, which really, really, really annoys him.
Where are all the good men at? If you've been asking this question and you're trying to figure out where you can find a good man, let me give you a couple of places you can find these good men. The grocery store. I will be strolling down the aisles, literally just put on my makeup, a cute little bodycon dress. You can see my little figure rolling down the aisles, just looking like it came out of a magazine or a photo shoot. I get this man walks up to me. He's like, oh my gosh, what's your number? Can we hang out? I'd love to see you. And out of nowhere. And I just came from an event, so I was already dressed up, but no, plan it. Put your makeup on, put a cute little dress on that shows off your figure, and go strolling through a grocery store to find a man. Have no shame. Another place, church. Now, there aren't a lot of men in church, and that's why but there are a handful who actually want to be a good life partner, a good husband. They're already being indoctrinated to be married and to be a husband. So there's not this waiting game or guessing game, or they're already indoctrinated to know that marriage is the only way and the only option. So if you could snag one of those church boys, that would be a great thing for you. Another place, hotel restaurants. When I tell you, if you're looking for a 6-figure man or a man that has an established career, maybe a little older, but more established, can take care of you, hotel restaurants, hotel bars, middle of the day. That's where businessmen take their lunch breaks and their lunch meetings, is at a bar at the hotel. So find your 5-star hotel in your city. Check it out. Let me know what you think in the comments.
Where are all the good men?
I'll take it. I'll be right out.
Look, I know we're not supposed to ask women what they bring to the table, but it's sometimes it's they come to the table and they don't even have their own plate. You know what I mean? So it's even if you wanted to cook for them and everything, there would be nothing there. My thing is, some of them don't bring anything to the table even when they're dining alone. I feel that's the problem. Because if you want to say, okay, in a relationship, I'm not going to do anything, whatever, that's a whole different discussion. But when I find out you're not doing anything for yourself, that's crazy to me. I saw this one post where they're oh, if a man can't help you financially, what's the point of being in his life? And it's what? What are we, the welfare system? What is she campaigning for? Man stamps? That's ridiculous. It just don't make sense, because I know we've all seen those people in general, man or woman, where they're just living their life and they're withering away doing absolutely nothing. Okay, so it's in general, why is that? Who would be attracted to that? And it's somehow we made it some sort of slur to ask a woman what she brings to the table, but it's man, at some point, the table. Like, what are we gonna do? It's like, if we both have to share my food, eventually I'm gonna get angry, okay? Not because I'll get hungry, but because I like my food. It tastes good, okay? So I want mine, you know? And it's like, if you don't have any food that tastes good, or any food in general, it's like, what's the exchange here? Like, what am I getting? You know what I mean? Like, you're getting nourished, and here I am. I'm just like, yep, like, here's my food. Like, this is really good, but like, you know, you're just taking it. You know, some people are just leeches. Like, that's what it sounds like to me. Some people just want to like leech, and it's so like scary to like witness.
Should your wife have the last say so in the household?
No.
Your face. I say it just depends, because sometimes the wife may be stronger in certain areas. Let's just say the husband is not good at managing a certain thing and the wife is stronger in that certain area. Do you believe that the wife should have the input in that area?
I think input is different from final say so. I think to be a wife, at least the type of wife that I aspire to be, which is a high value, feminine, high earning woman that is partnered with a high value, high earning masculine man. Ultimately, my input and feeling heard and acknowledged and seen, that's important to me. That's very important to me. However, ultimately the decision is his, because I'm submitted to the mission of the God that's inside of him. And so ultimately, if I'm better at finances, or I'm better at really anything, I'm definitely going to place my input, and a true leader knows when it's time to follow, which is why it's important inside of your partner choice. If you're choosing someone that's more in their ego, that needs to be like, well, what I say goes, rah, 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 that's not really the person that you want. You don't want them to have the final say so. But if you have a true leader that knows who they are, they know where they're going, they know the purpose, and they want what's good for the colony, then they're going to take your input, and the final say so will really be what you said in the first place. Can you be feminine enough to plant that seed in the man so that he feels like it's his idea anyway, and then celebrate him for when he does it? Because ultimately, the woman is the conductor in the household. You just don't see her because her back is turned.
Break that down for me, please.
If you go watch an orchestra, you have all of this music that's playing. That's the man. The man is providing. He's doing this. Sometimes it's brash. Sometimes it's strong. Sometimes it's quiet. It's all of this different things, harmonies that are happening. He's running the household. But the conductor is there saying, this is when it's time to do this. Hey, not right now. You gotta stop that. Hey, you need to come right here. You're literally orchestrating the household.
But who writes the music?
God.
Ooh.
That's the purpose. That's the alignment.
Like that.
That's the source.
One of the things that the ladies get really upset with me over is that I advise men to avoid getting into relationships with divorced women, and especially single mothers. They say it's completely unfair of me to say that, and while sure there are some great single mothers and divorcees out there, the truth of the matter is there's also more than a few like this. Ah, yes, the classic "he made me do it" excuse. The one that women use to justify dumping their ex, and often the father of their children. Notice, however, how they always put 100% of the blame on him. I mean, ask yourself, when was the last time you saw one of these divorced women own up to the fact that maybe, just maybe, it wasn't his fault entirely? Maybe, just maybe, she failed to do her part in the relationship. Maybe, just maybe, she wasn't the perfect wife and mother that she thinks she was. And that's why, gentlemen, you want to avoid these women like the plague. Because if they're going online trashing their ex in public, imagine what they're doing in private. If they're putting the entire fault on the failure of the relationship on him, why would you ever think she won't do exactly the same thing to you? And let me be clear here. That's exactly what these women will do time and time again. Because as I often say, taking accountability is to women as kryptonite is to Superman. They simply aren't capable of acknowledging their role in the demise of the relationship. They aren't capable of taking responsibility for it. They are who they are, and because of that, they can't hold themselves accountable. So they're not going to change, which means no man will ever be Mr. Right for these women. He will always, at best, be Mr. Right now.
Want a man to spend money? Just tell him he's broke.
I think any self-respecting man that would be tried on would actually just walk away. So these type of tactics are only going to work on men with no self-esteem and something to prove.
Is it harsh? Yeah. Is it ethical? Probably not. But does it work? Yeah.
Only on men that have absolutely terrible taste in women.
Say something like this. Oh, well, I mean, if you can afford it, like, that's totally fine. You can just say that. Because what they're going to say is, oh, no, it's not that at all. Like, I can afford it. You say, okay, well, then what's the issue then? And now you actually have their real issue.
That they don't want to waste their money on a passing fancy?
You can say something about, oh, I know, like, inflation in the economy is just so hard. They're going to be like, oh, no, like, I have the money for this. You'll be like, okay, well, then what's the problem?
I understand that not everyone quite understands what it's like to work for a living, but go on.
But ladies, you need to remember that men have crazy high egos, especially like the alpha men.
Well, some men actually like to invest their money in things that have value.
Such a powerful power dynamic between a male and a female salesperson and a client.
And men that are secure in themselves and their egos won't actually put up with this type of behavior.
You didn't hear this from me because it is a little evil, but does it work and will it make you a lot of money as a woman in sales? Abso-freaking-lutely.
And for those of you that were not aware, that is called emotional manipulation.
You telling us that we should settle. You're basically telling us that we can't want what we want. I'm not saying you gotta settle, but I am saying that you are what you are. And regardless to what it is that you think you want or what it is that you think you deserve, men are the ones that get the pick at the end of the day. Y'all are trying to be picked by men. Men is not walking around trying to be picked by women, because women is going to be there, especially if they got the 6 figures that they know all of y'all chasing behind. Well, I got 6 figures too. It doesn't matter. If you're a 6, then you're still a 6 with 6 figures. Men are looking for physical women who are just those beautiful looking women. It doesn't matter if you have 6 figures. You're a 6-figure 6.
But like, they were making sense. And I used to justify wearing revealing clothing by saying, oh no, I'm getting dressed for me.
Yes, not for you.
Not for you, not for the male gaze. This is what I like. This is what I feel comfortable with. And for a time, that makes sense until you realize that, one, people will address you the way, according to how you're dressed most of the time. 2, the male imagination is a very fragile thing. It can be inspired by just a shoulder. My goodness. And so if your whole, you know what I'm saying? If your nip out, you can imagine what that man is thinking in his mind. And he's not approaching you to have a conversation about the political state of the country. No. He's approaching you with the intention of making sure he sees the rest of what he's not seeing right now.
See, I don't know who needs to hear this, but dating an alpha male is not for the weak, baby. He already has everything that he needs. So you have to figure out, how can you bring value to him? How can you actually improve his life when he has everything that he already wants and needs? And then after you learn those things, you have to learn when to shut the fuck. And to most of us, that is not an easy lesson. That lesson will humble you. Energy.
Woo! Some of y'all women gonna get mad at me today, so if you can't take constructive criticism, baby, keep on scrolling. Many of you women are not really what you think you're cracked up to be. Like, some of y'all are really not great people to be in relationships with. Y'all know I work with couples every single day, and I'm gonna go ahead and make a list of everything that I have to work through. First things first, quit coming into relationships trying to make a man secure your insecurities. That's your job. If you lack confidence, if you have low self-esteem, if there's still trauma that you're operating in, if you're self-critical, if you're judgmental when it comes to yourself, if you blame yourself, if you're still operating in guilt and trauma and everything else, baby, that's for you to handle, not him. Respect his space. Like, stop becoming so preoccupied and hyper aware of what a man has going on. As soon as you see his mood is off a little bit, you start becoming overwhelming. What's wrong? Let me tell you how men are. A lot of men, when they are going through stuff, they may end up withdrawing or retreating because they're trying to figure it out. They're not always upset at you. Their moods are not changing just because of you. People go through things in a way that men are. They don't express themselves as much as we do as women. It's okay. Give that man some space. Oh yeah, the clinginess. Clinginess is cute to an extent, baby, but once you become codependent and you're always getting jealous whenever this person goes out, and you become anxious whenever they're not around you, you start blowing up their phones or they gonna hang out with their friends, that is problematic and you're gonna push them away. As much as many of you all don't want to believe it, it's absolutely okay for a man to admire another woman. As long as it is a quick look, boom, and he's not staring and he doesn't have a wandering eye and he's not impulsive and he's not a cheater. If he's all of those, baby, why are you with him in the first place? You're ignoring the red flags. You're settling. As long as that man is not.
These women are cooking, and they're cooking very, very good. By the time they get done, I don't know if these modern women are going to cancel them or not. What they said was absolute facts. There's a lot of modern women out here not doing the work, not putting the time in, and expecting to get a good man. Not gonna happen at all. I don't know why, but these modern women think that they're just the cream of the crop. Like that one lady said, you're a 6 with 6 figures. That's it. You don't look good at all. So just because you have money doesn't mean that you need to elevate yourself. Just because a lot of these women say the same thing. Oh man, you shouldn't lead with your money. Okay, well, here's what else I have to offer. What do you have to offer? Oh, well, I'm myself. I mean, just my uniqueness. I mean, okay, what's unique about you? Oh, well, just sitting here, just being cute. So the fact that you know how to put on makeup makes you unique? No, it doesn't. You have to actually start bringing something to the table. You have to know how to manage a household, which if you're a strong, independent woman, shouldn't be a problem for you at all. But like the other lady was saying, you don't know how to conduct anything. You don't know how to manage anything. The man will give you the structure. He'll give you the whole band, and you don't know how to orchestrate. You don't know how to conduct it. What does that mean? He give you the money. He give you the cars, the clothes, the house, food, all of that stuff. And you don't know how to manage or conduct any of it. By the time he gets home from work every single day, all of it is in shambles. All of it. And then when the man starts calling you out for it, then you get upset. Like that man is wrong for wanting his house to be in order. Number one. Number two, you should be upset with yourself right along with the man because it's your house too. And you should be upset that the man goes to work every day, all day, and he comes home and you haven't done anything. If you're really a strong, independent woman and you're a woman that's unique, then you'd have some integrity about yourself. You'd have some get up and go, some hustle about yourself to say, I can't live in this type of environment. And we're not talking about, there's a little clutter over here and there's a little clutter over here. We're not talking about the house has to be, it don't got to be spick and span. We're talking about you not doing anything. The house is in shambles. And every day the man comes home and the house is in shambles, you want to hire a maid. You want to hire a chef. Oh, it shouldn't be too much. You want to hire a nanny for the kids and you be at the house all day. You want to hire some type of help. You leaning on your parents to come over, stop what they doing. They retired out in Montana somewhere trying to chill out. But here you are, oh mama, please, I need you. And once again, as new parents, you're going to need that help. I get it. But at some point in time, you're going to have to do it on your own. And these modern women don't understand. A man is not here for your ultimate luxury, pleasure, and convenience. A man is here to support you. A man is here to help you, just like you're here to do the same thing for him. But there's no reason for a man to do any of these things if you're not going to give him anything in return. And a good man can peep this. So when you're asking the question, where are all the good men? Hiding from you, trying to make sure that they save their money, their time, their resources, and their energy. But that's just my opinion. Until the next video, I'm out.